We are back. Citroen is back. New livery, all refreshing and everything. It's been 4 months in the making. No, I'm just kidding. Not in the making, but it's been 4 months too long since the last episode of a Citroen Myteam series video, whatever. And obviously the first race was in Saudi Arabia, where we did win. And we also got the pole position as well. And, you know, that was a crazy race as well. Quite a lot happened. And that was the start of Season 2 for Citroen. We are ahead of Alpine now in the R&D charts after doing a few upgrades. And also got a little something to say. After Saudi Arabia, there was Imola. As you can see, I got a podium there. But the issue is all of my recordings for Imola have disappeared, and actually I think Zhou Guan Yu won the race. It was like a wet weather race, and they pitted like super early for inters, and then some people pitted for dries, then it went to wet again. It was a crazy race. As you can see, some people are like really far back, like Lando Norris DNF. As you can see, I'm scrolling down a bit. Perez finished out the points in both races. You can see 16th and 14th. No, sorry, 15th and 13th. And there was a few other drivers that didn't get points as well. But Zhou Guan Yu won. Gasly came second with the fastest lap, and I came third. So, yeah, I don't have the recordings for that, so we're just going to ignore that like it never happened. But we are leading the championship by 21 points. So, we're going to go into this race in the lead of the championship. You're going to see new livery for Citroen. See what we can do with this brand spanking new car. Going straight into qualifying here. And wasting no time. Just getting straight back into the action. You know, I was very eager. Woke up early to do this, to record this video and get this out for you guys, because I know it's been a long time coming. I've got a few people requesting to get a new episode out, and I'm feeling good. So going to our first qualifying session back after a long break. Also, I just come back from a break myself, a month-long break, so I haven't touched my wheel in a while, so here goes nothing. And I am quite good around Baku, so I do kind of have an advantage over the AIs, considering my car it's not the quickest, but it's not the slowest either. And obviously pairing with my skill around Baku, I think I can make something work, like qualify quite high actually around here, as I actually won my most recent race here. I actually did win, as Lance Stroll goes pole position with a 41, whatever that was, we didn't see, in the Alpine. And but yeah, I actually won my last race here. I don't think I didn't get pole. I came second actually, and that was a bit unfortunate because I lost like a few tenths on my final lap, but it's not really the end of the world. And castle section, I love castle section, especially when you get it right. But this first lap, it wasn't the greatest lap, but it had to do. It was, I was kind of just rushing it a little bit. I wasn't really try-harding or trying too hard. We got a car in front of us, giving a bit of dirty air as well. Who's that? Piastri, our Season 1 kryptonite. He was the number one thing holding us back. That he was like terrible. He was abysmal. Like, Jesus, I'm so glad we got rid of Piastri. But now we brought in Albon, and he's not any better either. He's still sitting on no points as we go pole with a 48.7. Like, he's still sitting on no points, Albon is. And the car is decently quick. And, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to be finishing out the points every bloody race for Albon. And realistically, I am looking to sign someone new. So, in the Discord, there will be new transfer rumours as they arise. As I pick up new drivers, I will put them in the transfer rumours chat on the Discord. If you want to join, then just leave a comment, or just send you a link to the Discord. But anyway, on our second qualifying run now, 9 tenths up / 1 second kinda on our second run, as that is good enough for pole position currently with a 39.7 with a stonking lap. That was a very good lap. Oh, as we spin up there, it doesn't really matter because it's lap's over. Anyways, leave driver suggestions down below who we should sign. And look at that. We have got pole position by almost 2 tenths there to Verstappen. And even with like the top of the midfield car. Not even that, we are in the midfield. That is a very good lap for us. For pole position, look at Albon. This is what I was talking about. P13 with a 40.9. He's 1.1 seconds off of me. But yeah, like I said, if you've got any driver suggestions, people who you think are driving well and would drive well for Citroen, you know, leave them down below. Leave them in the comments. Leave them in the Discord or anything like that. And we'll have a look and see if they're worth signing. But yeah, anyways, we're on to the intro now. And for some reason, every time that I've always tried to screen record or to record the intro to the tracks, every time there is no backing music for some reason. Every time I've had to do it in the past, I've had to grab the intro music off of YouTube and then overlapped it onto the clip, which has been the most frustrating thing, and I don't think I have the patience to do it anymore, so I guess I'll just talk over it, considering Crofty's voice is also quite boring, especially if you play F1 Manager, then you definitely know what I mean by that. Anyways, I'll let the starting grid order play out for you so you know who's where, and we are obviously on pole.
Edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, George Russell and Norris, Hamilton, Sainz, Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, Alex Albon and Gasly, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Daniel Ticktum and Oscar Piastri, Joe, Latifi, Schwartzman and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
As you can see there, Carlos Sainz is in P8. I think, what a bad qualifying for him. Jesus. Like, I think he could have done better in the Ferrari, considering Leclerc is... I don't know, I didn't see, whatever. He's up there anyway, compared to Carlos Sainz, who's a bit further down than Leclerc, and the rest of us, obviously. Okay, there we go, Leclerc's in third, so you saw the starting order. Anyways, on to the formation lap. Enough with the boring stuff now, let's just get to the formation lap and the bloody race. Lining up on the grid now, as you can see, and we are back for racing in Azerbaijan in the Citroen yet again. As the final car rounds off the grid, we go to 5 red lights, and we are now going green, and we are now underway in Azerbaijan. Max Verstappen with a slower start than myself as we go sailing into turn 1, miles ahead of Verstappen now, getting a load of time into turn 1 as a load of cars going side by side together. Daniel Ricciardo there as well. Valtteri Bottas in a solid P10 for the Aston Martin team. Both Alpines chasing Bottas there in the Aston Martin. Latifi, Magnussen and Oscar Piastri all vying for that P17 spot. Carlos Sainz now down to P9 after going side by side with Daniel Ricciardo. And Lando Norris running a solid P5 here for the McLaren team. That are currently the fourth, the top of the midfield, quickest car in the midfield, sorry. And Alex Albon down in P14, down a place already. Pierre Gasly stuck behind Alex Albon, and Mick Schumacher now down into P22 behind Zhou Guanyu after getting overtaken by the Chinese driver. And now both Alfa Romeos are running last. But now we've gained a solid 7/10 of Verstappen going through to the castle section. Leclerc is still close behind. Perez is also looking to get into the podium places after having 2 no points finishes to start this season off. Lando Norris still running a solid P5 yet with no issues, and George Russell and Lewis Hamilton running P6 and P7 in a McLaren sandwich. As you can see, Ricciardo is P8 and Carlos Sainz has dropped a place also. Valtteri Bottas still running in P10, surviving the attack from both Alpines. Yuki Tsunoda just outside of the top 12 there in 13th. Albon still in 14th, and Pierre Gasly in 15th still. Nicholas Latifi there in 16th. Now, it is lap 4 with DRS. Verstappen's hungry for that P1 position right behind me, right behind my gearbox. And he's going to get the DRS here on the next straight. Lap 4 now with hardly any action as the rear end is stepping out ever so slightly. Verstappen with the DRS into turn 3. What can he do? Nothing. He can do nothing. He's way too far back with the DRS. He can't make a move. but later on the lap, he will do. As you can see now into the downhill section, he goes to the inside. I brake early to let him pass, go for the switchback move, not quick enough, haven't got the grip on the inside to re-overtake Verstappen, but I'm going to get the DRS on Verstappen. I'm going to be very close, and I have enough DRS to attack Verstappen into turn 1. And now, closing into Verstappen on lap 4, onto lap 5. Leclerc is near enough also with the DRS as well, picking up the slipstream from myself, and Verstappen goes to the inside to defend, but he is looking to make the move again into turn 1, side by side. I go around the outside. He has a little bit of a moment. He's slow. Leclerc has more momentum than Verstappen currently in this moment in time, and Verstappen has a little moment on the rear end. He snaps, and Leclerc is quicker than him on this straight now. He's got more momentum. Like I said, he's got the DRS round the outside, deploying all his DRS. Can he make the move around the outside? Verstappen goes defensive on the inside, and no, it is not enough. Leclerc is through, and he's now overtaken Verstappen. Now, lap 9 onto lap 10. Verstappen has overtaken us before the DRS line. He has got the DRS now. We're keeping behind him tight. He's going to look to defend the inside. We're going to take it to the outside now. Into turn 1. Verstappen is defending on the inside. As Verstappen looks up, we switch it back to the inside. We got enough grip on the inside now to go. And miles ahead of Verstappen. We got tons of leverage now to work with. Verstappen's not going to catch up until the end of the lap now. That secures us our lead for one more lap. Our safety now in P1 is in our hands. Verstappen looks up 1 lap later in the exact same fashion he did 1 lap ago. Leclerc's now 1.4 seconds behind us. And now Verstappen locked up again after trying to overtake us. And now he's going to get the DRS. Is he close enough? Or has he lost all the momentum from that lockup? I think he might have. He's not close enough. He's not going to get a move done on us on lap 11 here. And now to the end of this lap, he may try to overtake us again. We're gonna have a look and find out if Verstappen is gonna be close enough to try and make the move and to try and regain P1 again. I'm sure he is now frustrated after locking up and making the same mistake 2 laps in a row. That is not like Verstappen whatsoever. But we're going to have a look, see if Verstappen can make a move, conjure a move on us. The tyres are screaming, especially the rear tyres, as they double the percentage of the fronts. And we're going to have a look as we're going to have to lift off and on a certain few corners, or have to be a little bit more cautious or wary of, of what our tyres are going, how the tyres are behaving. But now Verstappen is only 4 tenths behind us. He is going to be close enough to make a move. 100%. We're going to have a look. We're going to see. Deploying our ERS now. Tyre situation right now is not a good one. And we're going to box this lap. We're going to box this lap to retain our lead, hopefully, after the round of pit stops. So we're going to come in ahead of Verstappen. Leclerc will also follow us too. As Perez is continuing to avoid the double stack, we're going to see if that benefits him later or not. Lando Norris also continuing, George Russell continuing also, as Sainz also continues as well, following them shortly behind. And Leclerc is having a decent stop, I think held up a little bit by Daniel Ricciardo there and a few others. We're going to have a sleek pit stop and come out ahead of Verstappen. But on their pit exit, we have a little bit of a moment that ruins our momentum with the cold tyres as we go way too deep in this next corner. As you can see, we almost hit the wall. We have to brake extremely hard just to avoid the wall. Verstappen somehow getting a DRS now. I thought you didn't get the DRS coming out the pits, but apparently you do anyway. So Verstappen into turn 3. I'm trying to weave my tyres alongside him. It's quite dangerous, I can't lie. He was making a little bit of contact, but nothing race-ending, thankfully. And Verstappen is now ahead of me, and I'm on cold tyres. His tyres have clearly warmed up immediately. And Ricciardo and Dan Ticktum going side by side. They're battling here for P13. Lewis Hamilton and P12 behind Oscar Piastri, the slow-moving Haas car there. And that's not good for the Merc. Mercs aren't having the greatest of seasons right now. Anyways, moving on to 1 lap later, as you can see Carlos Sainz in P7 as he makes the camo cars. He dive on them 2 cars. Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. Does he get a move on Charles Leclerc? He does. He gets the move done on Charles Leclerc on lap 13. That was an incredible move by Sainz. That promotes him up to P6 now. And we're back to the beginning of the lap 13 just to show what happened. Perez jumped Leclerc in the pits. As you can see, Leclerc tried to go for a little move there, but nothing there for him. But this was good pit stop by Red Bull, and a good tyre strategy has meant Verstappen and Perez are now in a double podium position. Now this is the replay of that move on Sainz. As you can see, George Russell and Leclerc getting the elbows out with each other, battling really hard as Leclerc has to try and avoid making contact, but they make contact because you see Carlos Sainz flying up at the inside of Lando Norris and Leclerc. As you can see, they make a little bit of contact as Leclerc hops the curb, but Carlos Sainz does actually get the move done, but George Russell now has a little bit of a gap, a little bit of breathing space to both of them. Now the end of lap 13 going on to lap 14, I'm catching up to Verstappen, going for a move into turn 1 with the DRS, going side by side as I squeeze Verstappen right to the wall almost, and really force my way through, give him a taste of his own medicine, and force my way back into P1. He's going to get the DRS. Will he be able to make a move into turn 3? I don't think he's close enough. He is 4 attempts back, but we're going to have a look if he's going to fight back later on in the lap, because for Verstappen, it may not be over yet. He can still pull a win out of this race. But Verstappen's going to have to play his cards right, and the cards that he is playing right now is ERS and DRS, making a move before turn 1. But then I'm going to come back at Verstappen, brake later, round the outside I go, squeeze Verstappen right to the wall. He's lost a bit of momentum there. Perez is now closing to Verstappen into turn 2. He's going to get the DRS. And I'm leading this little DRS train there as Sergio Perez is 100% close enough to make a move on Verstappen. And he does. He makes the move into turn 4. And he's doing it. He sails round the outside of Max Verstappen. And he makes the move. He makes the move when his Red Bull teammate, Perez, is yet to score points this season. Verstappen is doing well so far. And as we can see, George Russell is getting caught up by Carlos Sainz. As now, lap 15, the Mercedes pulls off to the side. He's cut the corner. He's blowing smoke right out of his exhaust. He has DNF'd out of this race. Carlos Sainz is getting held up behind. He's blinded by the smoke of the Mercedes. As Sainz goes through into P4 and Lando into P5, the Mercedes is stuck on the side of the road, stuck on the exit road. Esteban are going into P10. But now, when I tell you the grid order did not change, 0 overtakes made in total for the next 11 laps after that DNF. But it does not matter. On the hard tyres, the car has held up perfectly, held up all conditions perfectly, minus the rear tyre wear. We are coming home on the final lap, lap 26 out of 26, to take the second win of the season for Citroen, the second win of Citroen Racing history. We come home to extend our lead in the Drivers' Championship by an extra 26 points as we take home the fastest lap. Perez P2, Verstappen in P3. We get driver of the day, and what a race it has been for Citroen. Pretty boring race, but a win is a win.
In Azerbaijan, great work from the whole team here at the track and back at the factory as well. And some pretty handy driving for good measure. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
As we walk out onto the podium, smiling faces all round in the Citroen team. This is amazing for us. This is the 3rd podium of the season. 3 out of 3 podiums so far in all of our races. 2 wins, 2 out of 3 wins. This is great start to the season as we are sandwiched by both Red Bull drivers there. Verstappen in P3, Perez in P2. But what a race it has been for us, leading almost every lap after getting pole position by a huge 2/10 of the margin to Verstappen. And we've controlled this race. Every time Verstappen tried to make something work out of an overtake, we always fought back. We never gave up. And my skill set around Baku has allowed me to take home this win. Take home a second win for Citroen this season. Take home the fastest lap and bring home 26 points for the constructors and drivers. Albon yet again finishing out of the points for the 3rd race this season, finishing P13 exactly where he started, whereas half the grid gained positions due to the DNFs, etc. And Charles Leclerc ended up with a mechanical issue which slowed him down, which he ended up in P7. So quite a slow day at the office for him towards the second half of the race. But good race for us, going pretty much leading most laps. And Sainz, pretty good recovery drive from P8. And Lando and Hamilton as well had a good race. Lando specifically. And yeah, what a race it has been for us. And we'll take that win. We'll take that. Anyways, that is this race this first episode back for Citroen, it has come to a close, and good race to come back, minus the last 11 laps where there was 0 overtakes. But look at that. First, third, and first. Can we keep up this run of form in this Citroen car? As you can see, we need to continue upgrading, but that's besides the point. We will continue upgrading as it comes to us. But now, on to the Canadian Grand Prix, which will be again very, very soon. But anyways, that will have to do it for this video. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys for the Canadian Grand Prix.